Her Excellency Carmen Cano de Lasala is a Spanish diplomat, currently serving as the ambassador of Spain to Vietnam. Born in Zaragoza in 1967, she entered the diplomatic service in 1992. With a rich career spanning over 3 decades, Ambassador Carmen Cano has held various diplomatic positions in countries such as Ethiopia, Ghana, Romania, Kazakhstan, and China. Her extensive experience in Asia, particularly in China, positions her with a deep understanding of the region. Before assuming her role in Vietnam, she served as the Deputy Director General for Southeast Asia at the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In 2024, Ambassador Carmen Cano officially began her term in Vietnam, carrying out the mission of further strengthening the friendship between Spain and Vietnam.
Welcome to Station Vietnam on VTC10, and I'm your host Thu Giang. In today's episode, we will have a conversation with a dedicated diplomat bridging Spain and Vietnam. Please welcome to the show, His Excellency Carmen Cano, Spanish Ambassador to Vietnam. Xin chào, Ambassador, and thank you so much for joining our program today.
Hola, Tan. Thank you very much for inviting me to your program.
Ambassador, how do you assess the current state of bilateral relations between Spain and Vietnam currently? What are the areas of the greatest potential for the two countries to cooperate?
Well, the bilateral relations are in good shape. This year we celebrate the 15th anniversary since we upgraded our relations to the level of strategic. And in a couple of years, we will celebrate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations. Spain, as Vietnam, believe on a multilateral world based on international law, and there is a lot of potential regarding trade, regarding investment in our relations. For instance, since the free trade agreement between the European Union and Vietnam was signed, we see that the trade volume between Spain and Vietnam has increased by 10% last year. We also see more Spanish investment coming to Vietnam. It's recent, but it's increasing. And we have well-placed companies in sectors that are key for the development and the growth of Vietnam, such as infrastructures or green growth, I mean the energy transformation, energy transition. For instance, infrastructure. Maybe you don't know that Spain is, after China, the second country regarding the number of kilometers of high-speed railway. This is, well, we have also developed high-speed trains in other countries such as Kazakhstan. And also regarding green transition, for us, we are very ambitious, such like Vietnam. So our aim is that by 2050, 100% of the Spanish energy needs can be covered with renewable energy. And in 2022, and I think it was 2nd April, we were the first country in the world that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we could meet all our energy needs with energy coming from the renewable sector. So that's also just to give you some examples on how our companies have the technology and the know-how, and we would like to contribute to the huge development and growth of Vietnam.
Yes, as we can see that Spain and Vietnam share a rich history, right? Yeah, so how could we leverage this shared heritage to foster stronger people-to-people exchanges as well as cultural understanding between two countries?
Yes, I think both Spain and Vietnam, we are maritime countries. Vietnam has a long littoral, and I mean Spain is a peninsula. So we have played as crossroads for many cultures, many civilizations, and it has enriched our cultures, and it has made our societies also more resilient and more open. For Spain, tourism is very important. I know that for Vietnam also tourism is very important. Vietnam is becoming a very popular destination in Spain. And we see in tourism a potential also for cooperation, because it's not about how many millions of tourists you attract. It's also about the quality of tourism and to have a sustainable tourism participating in your economic growth. In 2021, the embassy supported the efforts of the Museum of Fine Arts and the Women's Museum to incorporate Spanish in their catalogs. Because of the flux of tourists coming to Vietnam from Spanish-speaking countries. So I think that definitely tourism is important for people-to-people exchanges, to promote that, for cooperation, and also Spanish language.
Yeah.
Because Spanish language opens a market of 600 million people. It's the second most spoken language in the world. And since we opened an Aula Cervantes in the University of Hanoi in 2001, so we have seen how the demand to learn Spanish in Vietnam has increased, and we are trying to meet that demand. We estimate that at least 2,000 students are now studying Spanish in universities or different educational centers.
Ambassador Carmen Cano has found a deep connection with Vietnam, drawing parallels between the nation's resilience and her own work in diplomacy. Overlooking the iconic Long Bien Bridge, a symbol of Hanoi's enduring spirit, the ambassador expressed her admiration for the bridge's ability to unite people and cultures. She sees diplomacy in a similar light, as a bridge that connects different societies and fosters understanding. Her appreciation for Vietnam's rich history and vibrant culture is evident in her enthusiasm for the city's bustling neighborhoods. The ambassador finds inspiration in the energy and resilience of the people she encounters. Ambassador Carmen Cano highly values Vietnam's remarkable achievements and growing global standing. She takes pride in being a part of the effort to cultivate Vietnam-Spain diplomatic ties.
Beyond your diplomatic duties, what are your personal interests? And also, how could you balance between your professional and personal life?
Well, I think in Vietnam for me it's very easy to keep my hobbies. I like sport and I like nature. So I know that in Vietnam people like sports and they follow very closely football in Spain, tennis. I'm sure the Olympics were also pretty much followed by the Vietnamese people. And I think sport is not just about business, it's also about transmitting values and providing role models to the young people. So we have the football teams, both men and women, because our women football team is champion of the world. So it's also important role model for the young people. And also how I think through sport you transmit the importance of playing in a team, to be ambitious, never to give up. That's what we feel when we see Nadal or Alcaraz or Carolina Marin, maybe to quote some of the best-known sport persons, Spanish sport men and women. But I would like also to stress, I mean, one of my hobbies is also nature. I mean, is hiking, is enjoying time outdoors. And in Vietnam, there are so many opportunities. I would like to explore the national parks. I was already in Bac Ma, and I think it's a beautiful park. And it's important to stress the necessity to protect nature, to protect our environment, because it's our legacy for next generations, and it's our responsibility to take care of that.
So, as we look ahead, what are your expectations for the future of Spain-Vietnam relations?
We have many cultural activities coming. We have films, we have exhibitions, also about gender equality. We have exhibitions about nature, about how to protect our environment, our biodiversity. We are planning also trade missions to come to Vietnam. So yeah, we are a very active embassy. Well, I would like that in the very near future, we don't talk so much about potentials, but rather about realities, actions, and achievements. And that's my objective for these coming years.
Once again, thank you so much, Ambassador Carmen Cano, for inspiring us. And we look forward to seeing the fruits of our cooperation.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's the end of Station Vietnam today. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.
Well, first time I came to Vietnam, it was around 10 years ago. I came as a tourist and I was fascinated by a very dynamic country with ancient culture and history and beautiful landscapes. So now I'm very glad that I can live and work in Vietnam. I really felt very comfortable from the very beginning in Vietnam. I think it's a country with a combination of tradition and modernity, which is looking towards the future with optimism and with an ancient culture and history. I think Hanoi is a city that never sleeps. I mean, there is a lot of energy, a lot of young people. Spanish people feel very comfortable in Hanoi because we also like outdoors activity. We like the cafes, we like sitting with friends and with families to celebrate anything that has to be celebrated. I like the combination of tradition and modernity, modern buildings, old temples, old buildings. And I think it's a city which transmits dynamism, energy and optimism.